Hi, good afternoon, Gayatri ma'am. Welcome back to my channel. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Mr. Ashutosh. How are you doing today? And thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking me too. How was your weekend so far?
The weekend has been quite surprising for me because I have been invited on a lot of YouTube channel these days that for the conversation. So it's been really surprising. Thank you so much. Yeah, what about you?
Oh,
How was
that's
it?
great to hear. About me, it was a pretty normal weekend, I would say. I went out on Saturday and Sunday as well. I went to market to see things, people, crowd, and observe a lot of things in the market, to be honest. Yeah, so it was a good, I would say, overall good weekend for me. Okay, so please let me know what we are going to talk about today.
Yeah, okay. So everyone, like as we know, and Ashutosh, as we have been having a series, right? We are going to record, or we are having a proper series right now where we are going to cover the different aspects of the language, specifically English language. So in previous video, we discussed about some strategies that how we can exactly immerse ourselves into the language. And today we are going to talk about the importance of listening in someone's life when you want to acquire a language. Right, so I would be discussing few points how you can go for it. So before it, if you have any question, you can ask me.
Yeah, sure. So we are going to talk about importance of listening in our spoken English journey, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, sure. It would be really nice to know about it. I'm sure that it is going to help all of those who are looking forward to become really good speakers in 2025. So please let me know what are the points you are going to discuss today.
Yeah, so I have few points I have jotted down so that I can share with people. Okay, so when I started my journey in the language, right, I am telling you, I wasted a whole year to exactly
Mhm.
understand, complete 1 year to exactly understand the roadmap to acquire English language. And it was really horrified and terrified for me. But somehow, okay, so see, why, let's start with the question, why is listening important for us, right? Why it is important
Mhm.
in our life? To acquire any language in the world, like you can go back to your childhood and you can understand everything. How is things started for you? The first way is like listening to your mother, your father, and the people around you. And that's how you started learning some basic words, right? That's how you acquired your own regional language. So the first way and the
Right.
first point to learn any language in the world is listening. And what are the reasons and why listening is important is to acquire a language in a very clear way, to understand
Mhm.
bits of the language, right? The second point is understand the pronunciation of a language, be it English, French, Spanish, any language in the world. If you really want to know how the language and especially the words are pronounced, you have to listen to that. You have to train your ears for the words and the phrases of the language and the expressions of the language, right? So this is the second
Exactly.
point. It's improve, right? It improves your like understanding, it trains your ear, and it also helps you to understand the repeat the words in the same pronunciation, right? Yeah, so third is
Right.
enhances your vocabulary. Listening enhances your vocabulary. When you listen to native speakers or the people who speak really good English, the words which they use, right, you get to listen to them and you feel, okay, I can also use this word, right? So it
Mhm.
this enhances your vocabulary as well. It gives you new words, new phrases, new expressions. So this is my third point, that it gives you vocabulary, right? The fourth is builds
Mhm.
comprehension. A lot of people listen to each other or listen to the language, but it goes over their head. They don't know what did they
Yes,
exactly
it
listen
does.
to, right? It happens.
Uh-huh.
Even after an hour, they realize, what did I exactly listen from the podcast, right? If a lot of people come to me and they say that, ma'am, I watched a podcast for 3 hours. And when I ask
Uh-huh.
them that, where, what did you learn from it? What do you have on your brain? What was the topic? Who was guest? What did he talk about? They are blank. They're like, ma'am, I just watched it for 3 hours. I don't know what happened. So when you go for attentive listening and receptive listening, you must be also like, yeah, be attentive, and it also helps you understand and comprehend with the language, right? So these are few points.
Right.
I will continue, but before it, do you have anything to ask?
Yeah, whatever you said, I couldn't agree more with you. It is always helpful with the pronunciation, vocabulary to get the sound of the language, rhythm of the language. Because whatever we learn by listening. Listening is very important for learning the language. As you said, when I was a child, I learned by because I was not able to read, I was not able to write when I was 2 or 3 years old. But I used to listen to my parents, my friends, my siblings, and that's how I developed speaking skills, right? So the listening was the first thing which I was introduced to, right? So it is very helpful to develop the language. And but yes, attentive listening is very important. You don't have to do like you're listening for day and night, but you don't even think, you are not aware of like what are you listening to. Some people, they are listening to it, but if I ask them that what is the topic of the video, what is the context, what you were listening to, they say like, I'm sorry, but just I was listening to it. So that is not going to help you. You have to take interest in it. And sometimes if you have sufficient time, take a notebook and take notes also. Then it is going to help you to understand the language very well. So yeah, whatever you said, that is exactly right. I couldn't agree more with it. So if they will follow listening in a good manner, for sure they will get all those things, whatever you said.
Yeah, true, true, true. So we have discussed 3 points, like 4 points so far, like foundation of language, for language and acquisition of the language. The second is improves your pronunciation, right? The third enhances your vocabulary, and the fourth, it gives you your comprehension things. Like when you listen to anything, you should be that should be comprehensive enough, right? Let's go for fifth
Right.
point. It helps you understand the grammatical points of any language, the proper structure
Hmm.
of a language. Like if I'm the one who is really new to English, but I don't know how some certain concepts are being used when a person is talking, why the person said like this, had I been this or had I done it before, if it would not have happened, right? Or had I
Hmm.
invited him, he could have joined me. Or if I had money, I would have helped you, something like that. So people get confused that why these concepts are there and what are these concepts. So suppose if I learn a concept, if I learn about conditional sentences, but I don't know how to use them. So what I'll do, I'll
Hmm.
go on internet and I'll listen to people. How are they using it? So it also helps me to connect the grammar with the listening. So, right, this is how it helps. Okay, the seventh point, it boosts your confidence. When you listen to someone very clearly, you know what are you going to answer, right? If two
Right.
days or maybe these days people just listen to you, or maybe they get into the conversation just to answer, maybe, and there could be a lot of reason. Maybe they are very excited, or they are very, they are the one who want to dominate the conversation, or they are the one who want to speak really fast, and they want to say, oh my god, I have a lot in my, like in me, within me, I want to speak it one go so that I just finish it up. So there could be multiple psychological reason behind it. It is fine, but when you listen to someone very properly, receptively, attentively, you are very confident that now I know what to answer, what to talk. So it boosts your confidence. Okay, then 7 point, I'll say that connection with the language
Hmm.
and speaking. So once you listen to someone, you can repeat it. So it has a connection with your listening and speaking, right? If you don't have information, information could be attained from anywhere. It could be attained from anywhere. You can listen to something, you can read something, and then you can speak. So it builds that
Right.
connection as well, right? And the last but not least point is it supports culture. So if I want to learn English language, what I'll do, if I am at the level where I have understood the basic concepts and fundamentals, and I can
Hmm.
have a conversation, basic conversation, I will go in the deep language and I'll try to connect to the people who are culturally connect to the language. Like I'll connect to Americans, I'll connect to Britishers. And I think understanding a culture in the same language which you are learning exactly exposes you to huge horizon, right? When you
Hmm.
exactly go and connect with the culture of a language, like if I'm the one who is an aspirant to the language, especially English language, I listen to music in English, I'll read
Hmm.
something in English, I'll talk to people, especially the people who are in the language, who have been living in the language since childhood. So these are the few
Right.
points, and I believe that this is how listening helps us, right? So further, I will also tell that what to listen, how to listen. So, but I wanted to tell that what is the importance of listening. Do you have any questions here?
No questions, of course. You already answered very well, and I liked it because all these points are really important and they are pretty helpful to learn the language because many people do not understand the importance of listening. They feel like they want to become a speaker, so they should speak only, okay? But that is not right. Even though yesterday I was talking to a guy on Speakify CV application. So he was telling whether should I listen to the language or I should speak. So I said you should take one thing as an input and one thing as an output. So listening is, of course, equally important like speaking is. It is not something that only you will speak. You need to listen to get the content, knowledge, and the way of speaking, all those things, right? So whatever you said, that is exactly right. So we should understand the importance of listening and we should listen to the content carefully to get the language well. Why we people make a lot of mistakes? Because we are not actively listening to the language. We are not able to pronounce the words in a way they are pronounced because we are not just going through the details of that. So but if we will listen to it attentively, we will give our 120% for sure. That's why shadowing helps us a lot because some people do it and they shadowing is not going to help you if you're doing things in your own manner. Shadowing is something when you have to listen to it, okay, and you have to do it in the same manner, you have to copy it in the same manner, then that's how it works. So that is the only the thing which helps you, that is called listening. When you listen to something in details, then you will be able to speak in that detail, right? So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just of course really happy with all these points. So now
Yeah.
moving forward with the conversation, I would say you can summarize or now these points, then we will move forward.
Yeah, yeah, true, true. Even I stand by the fact when you said that you can take things as input and output. Okay, so reading and listening are the inputs. You just fill your brain with the information. Either it could be in listening form or writing, especially reading form. And then writing and speaking are your outputs, right? Where you exactly
Yeah.
utilize your, like whatever you have learned and your content and the information. Really important. Okay, so I have summarized the point. Let me repeat them one more time so that people
Mhm.
get clear about. So what I have talked about, that why listening is important to acquire a language, to boost your confidence, improve your pronunciation, improve your vocabulary, making a good connection with your grammar, right? Making you speak in a very good way, to connect culturally with the people. That's the thing. And I think these are the only point which I discussed in it. So in my next part of this listening importance, I'll talk about, because a lot of people say that, ma'am, I know the importance of listening. I know, but what to listen now? They are very confused with it. What to
Right.
listen, right? So we are going to talk about that as well. So before we move in that, do you have anything to say that what to listen, what not to do, anything like that?
Yeah, of course, it is very important to listen to the authentic content. That's why we are going to listen from you that what you are going to recommend people to listen to. And second thing, as you said, many people say that I can understand English because I can understand while listening to it. But to be honest, they are not right. They do not listen to it and they don't get it completely. But they are thinking because they can understand the context or maybe they can understand something out of it, so they feel they are completely. Whenever I ask someone, are you able to understand English? They would say, yes, I can understand because I understand everything. Whenever I listen to Americans, British people, Australians, it does not matter. I can understand them completely. But they don't understand them completely, to be honest. Even though listening to Indian speakers also, sometimes we do not understand them completely. If I will say, if I'm going to listen to someone who is a poet of Hindi, by listening to him, maybe I can understand that all those words which he is saying, but I will not be able to understand what he is trying to convey because that is very deep. So sometimes the conversation or things look simple to you, but they have a very deep meaning, so we are not able to understand it completely. So people are overconfident that yeah, I can understand everything, but yeah, please let me know how to speak. So that's how it is. So they should know first that to listen to it, listening is something which you can do throughout your life to become better
Mhm.
at listening. And listening is a very important thing, not only the language, for your whole personality development,
Yeah,
right?
true, true, true. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's jump or dive into that what to listen and what not to listen. So I
Sure.
have categorization of people, though I am the one who never likes to categorize people in levels like level 1, level 2, level 3 or something like that. I don't like it. But then I must understand that when I want a child to learn a language, any language in the world, I cannot let the child see my first the person who I listen to or a child listen to is like mother, right? So mother doesn't
Hmm.
send a child to go outside and have conversation like 3 years, because she is the one who can understand child, and the child can understand the mother,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So what I have deep sympathy to the learners who have been told multiple times, then go and watch English series, and the
Uh-huh.
learners who are at the level who cannot even introduce themselves properly. So I feel very bad about it. Right? Okay. So let's go for the first thing. You can go for movies,
Hmm.
podcasts, audiobooks. But again, understand what is comprehensive to you. If you can understand Shashi Tharoor, well and good. But understanding should be that after listening to Shashi Tharoor, you must be able to hold conversation on it. Like I listened to Shashi Tharoor, like I was there, I was at an event and he was talking over there and he was talking about Indian youth, how we can utilize Indian youth, their energy, their power. I remember one of the speeches of Shashi Tharoor on TED Talks, where he
Hmm.
talked about that how we are the youngest country in the world, and after 30, 40 years, we will be the oldest country in the world, because the youth we have in India right now is not utilizing its energy to the complete potential, and they are not working in the right direction. If the youth of India works in right direction, the country can have tremendous achievements. I remember it. There is a
Hmm.
talks, right? So after watching that TEDx, I can talk and I can share the content. What did I listen to? But if you can share the same content, good. But if you cannot, please go for very simple stories on YouTube. Very simple stories, right? There will be a voiceover on the story. You can see the story on your screen. Simultaneously, also practice, right? Listen to the one dialogue of the story and repeat after the person who is giving you a voiceover. So you can sync it. So you are doing two practices simultaneously. You are listening to and you are reading. Right? So this is the first
Hmm.
way you can go for understand your level of understanding, that who you can understand, what content you can understand, and then go for it. Okay. The second could be, I'd say, join a language exchange club or something like that. And I think in digital world, you cannot make a lot of people come to me and they say, I come from Hindi medium background. People around me, they don't talk in English, right? Nobody supports me. People pull me down. My friends don't, I don't know what not, right? Believe me, everyone, I come from the background where in my whole area, even if people speak, maybe like hardly 10 to 20 people, even if they speak, they are not around me. I don't have any connections with them, nothing. If I am sitting here today learning the language myself, I have done it online. I think we have digital era these days, so we can take the leverage of it, right? We can have the leverage of it. Just join an online club or a community. I would not say expensive community, just join as per your pocket and have that environment around you where you can listen to people or you can talk to them at the same time. So this is how you can also listen. You can get the chance to listen to things, right? There is an amazing way which I also used after a good time, like after I surpassed the level of understanding beginners and intermediate, I went for BBC 6 minute podcast. Like this is the best way, amazing way. There are very beautiful conversations they have recorded. So you get the audio clip, you listen to that, at the same time you get to read the transcript of the audio or video, whatever.
Right.
Like so simultaneously you are doing it, right? So this is the third thing you can go for. The fourth is, like whenever you listen to an interview or you watch an interview, again, as you have already mentioned, Ashutosh, that do active listening. Sit with a copy and pen. Even right now, you're watching this video, I would say sit with a copy and pen and write down all the points. These points are going to help you out. Even the words we are using, like I used words like acquire, accusation, like the confidence, boosting, cultural connection. All these words you must write and you must, jot it down and you must use it. So this is the way, right? Okay, so these were the few points, like listening to the audiobooks, watching interviews, going for a club, exchange club, and something. Right. So these were the only points, Ashutosh, I had, that this is what you can listen to, this is what you can go for. If you are the one who has questions that I know importance of listening, but I don't know what to listen, so I have also categorized. Right. So yeah, this is what I have.
Yeah, so you rightly said, I would say, even though I was the one who learned the language virtually, I did not have anyone to speak English in my surrounding. I was in village and it was COVID-19, so I did not have anybody to interact with. So online was the best thing. From the first day onwards, to be honest, I started talking to people on Buddy Talk, Hello, Clubhouse, Hi Local, Tandem, Fondi. I have many platforms. I tried a lot of platforms to speak with people, so that it is not only you are giving excuse if you are saying that you are living in a place where people do not speak English. And how can you say that you're living in India, man, not in America or England, right? So it is obvious that people will speak other language because our mother tongue is Hindi, or somebody's mother tongue can be Bengali, Marathi, Kannada, Tamil, whatever it is. So you cannot expect your society people to speak in English all the time. Okay, so you should not give excuse. Rather than that, try to have a virtual community. I have a people all around the world now with whom I communicate and I try to improve myself. So whatever you said, that is exactly right. So now coming on to the summarization, I would say it would be better if you would summarize all these points for the learners so they will get it easily.
Yeah. So in this video, we have talked, we have divided this video in two parts. First is why listening is important, and second, what you can listen to, what you can go for. So in first part, I talked about that why it is important, where I talked about that for acquiring the language, boosting your confidence, giving you chance to understand the grammar part, right? Also increasing your vocabulary, giving you more words, more realistic words when you listen to people, the real people who are talking, right? Not bookish vocabulary. So it gives you real life expressions, idioms, phrases. So this is why listening is important. And what you can listen to, so I have discussed few points that you can listen to audiobooks, you can listen to podcasts, but you have to assess your own level. You have to understand that what do you understand when you listen to Shashi Tharoor. Do you understand him? Or when you listen to Jay Shetty, or when you listen to Ranbir Labadia, or when you listen to B.K. Shivani ji, or when you listen to Sadhguru, or when you even when you watch cartoon, right? There are two favorite cartoons of mine on YouTube, like Peppa Pig and Shara and Duck. I love Peppa Pig. Like, like this is my mummy pig, this is my papa pig. So is there anything which you can easily understand? So start with that, and then you can find your own interest for listening, and then you can explore the listening thing. So this is the summarization of the video.
Yeah, okay, that's great. So thank you so much. Many, many thanks to you for a wonderful explanation that why listening is important and what kind of things we can listen to. So I'm sure that this is gonna help learners a lot. So they will get an idea that why listening is so important for learning the language. So thank you so much. Many, many thanks to you for describing this question in a wonderful manner. So thanks for joining me today again.
Thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best to you and to your audience and everyone who wants to step into the learning. Believe me, you can make it. Thank you so much.
Sure. Bye bye. Take care.